Hello and welcome from Budapest. This is Hungary Reports, public media M1's English language news show, kicking off our foreign language news hour. I'm Árpád Szűcs with the latest from Hungary and the Carpathian Basin. Thanks for joining us. Hungary says that, if necessary, it could mobilize thousands of troops to get to its borders in a short period of time. That's what the Minister of Defense said on public television news. The government is concerned about migrants currently stuck in the Balkans, up to 70,000 of them, and whether they could get to Hungary's southern border.
Migrants are continuously arriving in organized groups on the roads that lead to Bihać. More and more of them are in the Bosnian city. There, police try to direct them to local reception centers. However, they often don't succeed, since the migrants don't want to stay there because they're looking for greener pastures. And at Velika Kladuša, on the Bosnian-Croatian border, the situation isn't any better. The police continuously try to hold back migrants who want to enter EU territory. Whenever the migrants do succeed in crossing over here, they could then approach the Hungarian border. Since the 1,000-kilometer-long border between Bosnia and Croatia is difficult to defend, it's likely that migrants will try to cross over into Croatia. That's what Hungarian national security expert György Nógrádi said on public television M1, pointing out that the problems have only just begun. And it looks like this is just one of the routes. This is the Turkey-Greece one. Then in Greece, these routes split. The Italian route and the Spanish route are the favored ones for Europe. Therefore, Europe really has to pull itself together this autumn if it would like to be able to handle this migrant question at all, the expert said. Peace and security in the Western Balkans is absolutely important, said Hungary's Minister of Defense on public broadcaster M1. Tibor Benkő added that each country has to consider how to defend its own borders, and members of the EU also have to defend Schengen's outer borders. More than 2,000 of our soldiers are currently in barracks and on alert. They are ready and prepared, if necessary, so that several thousand soldiers could make it to the border in a very short amount of time, the minister said. The minister urged speeding up the integration of Serbia and Montenegro into the EU. He said that their planned entry in 2025 should occur earlier.
And for days now, the government has been concerned about migrants in the Balkans carrying nameless bank cards. That's what the spokesperson of the caucus for the ruling Fidesz Christian Democratic Coalition said. István Holik pointed out that many migrants have been carrying nameless bank cards, which they can use to draw money from bank machines. The cards are issued by the UNHCR with the support of the European Commission. The government is concerned that anyone can use them, thus creating possible identification problems. And the government also has other issues with the situation.
As we've heard, the European Union, George Soros and the UN's money have been transferred to these migrant cards. So our question is valid. Did the EU or the UN request it, and who was authorized by the member states to launch such a program? We see that neither EU institutions nor the UN are giving straight answers to these questions. And we expect, even demand, the answers first and foremost from the European Commission, the leaders of which have made it clear that they want to make Europe a migrant continent.
A fair number of passengers using Budapest's airport have been complaining for a long time about valuables missing in their luggage. Undercover Hungarian police have now carried out a sting operation to try and find the culprits. The result was that items in the sting did indeed go missing and were ultimately retrieved, but who allegedly took them and where it all happened was a bit surprising.
Airport police officers used bait luggage to test loading workers at Liszt-Ferenc Airport. Detectives flew to Rome on Thursday and checked in a piece of luggage for the flight back. There were different kinds of valuables and cash in the suitcase. The serial numbers of the electronics and the bills in the suitcase were noted beforehand. After the plane landed at Liszt-Ferenc International Airport, the officers saw that other than the bait luggage, 9 other suitcases had been ransacked. Detectives checked the loading workers, checked security footage, and found that the valuables weren't stolen in Budapest. After we found out that the crimes weren't committed in Budapest, officers of the Airport Police Directorate contacted the Italian authorities. After inspecting the Italian loading workers, they found the valuables and cash hidden in the bait suitcase, the spokesperson said. The Italian police launched a case against 2 of the workers at the airport in Rome. The Budapest Airport Police continues to constantly check luggage handling at Liszt-Ferenc International Airport because of complaints. The police advise airplane passengers to never leave cash, forms of identification, jewelry and electronics in luggage going into the cargo hold.
The Budapest Advent and Christmas Fair has opened, as have many other Christmas markets in Hungary. We take a cross-country look at these crowd pleasers. In fact, these aren't set up just for the locals. More and more tourists are coming to Hungary to check them out, which is also great for the country's tourism trade.
Small presents, glittering ornaments, luminous decorations as far as the eye can see. Karácsonyország, or Christmas Country, opened in Pécs a few days ago.
200 négyzetméteren.
You can find all you need for getting into the Christmas spirit here on 200 square meters, said the marketing director. Many have already started getting ready for the holidays. The countdown has also begun in Szeged. Wooden stalls for the city's 2 Christmas markets are being built at full speed. The Christmas fairs are to open at the end of November. All the while at the Dome Square, the base for the ice skating rink is already being put into place. Organisers are also preparing a special surprise this year. For the first time in Szeged, a Ferris wheel will be built on Széchenyi Square. It'll be close to 40 meters high, which means it'll be higher than a 10-story building, and I'm quite sure that a most beautiful panorama will be visible of the city covered in Christmas decorations, said István Német. Decorations and garlands are being put up on the streets of Sopron as well. Soon, Christmas lights in different parts of the city will show that Christmas is coming soon. Which has already happened in Budapest. Vörösmarty Square is in full Christmas magnificence. The smell of kürtös kalács or chimney cakes and mulled wine spreads throughout the decorated booths. The traditional Advent and Christmas fair opened on Friday. The Winter Festival, which happens to be celebrating its 20th birthday, has been for many years now among Europe's 10 most beautiful Christmas fairs and is visited by more than 800,000 people annually. On one of the most beautiful squares of the capital, more than 120 folk artists and craftspeople will be selling their merchandise. And at the Gastro Terrace, guests can try different traditional and rethought Christmas dishes.
A special folklore exhibition has opened at the Erkel Ferenc Public School for the musically gifted in Papa in Western Hungary. The students, parents and teachers there collected more than 100 artifacts for the display that shows Hungarian customs and national treasures. The oldest pieces date back to the early 1900s. And at the southern shore of Lake Balaton in the town of Balatonlele, many of the restaurants and wineries there are offering specialty goose meals. And of course, you're also offered the appropriate wines that you would drink in keeping with tradition on occasion of St. Martin's Day on Sunday. According to folklore, if you don't eat goose on St. Martin's Day, you will go hungry all year. And if you don't drink new wine, you'll go thirsty all year. The feast day also supposedly symbolizes the onset of winter. For farmers, that means finishing your chores and then planning plenty of rest time. And that's all for today. But you can always catch Hungary reports after the 11 p.m. Hungarian news and online as well. Please stick around now, if possible, for our other foreign language news broadcasts in German, Russian, and Chinese. Thanks for watching, and minden jót!